Okay, political parties. Political parties, by definition, are groups that share the same belief about government. So, a bunch of people who want to work together to achieve certain policy goals. They want to be able to push certain laws through. In order to make laws or make policy, they have to win elections. The people that represent the party sit in Congress where they'll be able to write laws, or sit in the White House where they'll be able to enforce those laws. When you're talking about party, there are a couple of different ways parties are organized. Parties are an organization where party professionals will lead party committees. Now, these aren't necessarily the people who are elected. These are the people who work to get people elected. These aren't your politicians, but these are your campaign advisors. These are your national party chairpersons. These are people who work for the political party but aren't politicians. Then you have party in government. All right, party in government, these are your politicians. These are the people who are winning elections and writing the policy. Okay, and then last you have party in an electorate. That's us. We are the voters who identify with one party or another. So you have party as an organization. Those are the people who work for the party. Party in government. These are your politicians, the people who want to be elected and be a part of government making decisions. And party in the electorate are your voters. Political parties are a linkage institution. Now, linkage institution is an important term. And what is being linked is people to government. Okay, political parties are not mentioned in the Constitution. In fact, our founders were worried about political parties. They believed that political parties, I'm going to call them PPs, would divide the country. Okay, and there would cause gridlock because the different groups, because they had such separate policy agendas, wouldn't compromise. And this is what we saw with the government shutdown. Political parties are weakening as people begin to oops. I'm just going to put ID themselves as indies or independents. Okay, and they function at all three levels. So political parties function at the local, state, and national level. And in the U.S., we have a two-party system. So those are really basic information about political parties. So let's talk about their functions. Okay, what political parties do? How do they achieve their goal of getting people elected and being able to write policy that reflects their platform? All right, how do Republicans limit or restrict abortion? They restrict abortion by winning elections and having legislators in state legislative branches and in the national legislative branch that will hopefully write, in the Republicans' eyes, hopefully write legislation to restrict access to abortion. So how do we achieve that goal if you're a political party? Okay, first you want to choose candidates. And we already know about the nominating process. So you want to nominate the best people. Okay, and now this has gone. This power has been put into the people's hands through primaries. Okay, now once you have people that are nominated, you want to run a campaign, and this is about giving money to politicians and training them. Okay, training politicians to run good campaigns and giving money to them. Mobilizing voters. Registering and reminding voters when to vote. So registering them and reminding them when it's time to go vote. You want to endorse specific policies. Now this is going to be your platform. and these are the ideas that your party has is going to attract a voter base, like right to abortion, protecting rights of the accused, public option health care, diplomacy over war. That would be the platform of the Democrats that they try to put out there in order to attract a coalition of support or a group of voters to vote for them. Okay, coordinating policy making. Okay, if anything is to be accomplished in government, you have to have a majority. In order to get a majority, you must compromise and build alliances. When you need support, you will look to your fellow party members. So really, political parties make it easy to get policy pushed through because you have friends and support in numbers, basically. Organizing the government. Everything about our government, the president's cabinet, leadership in Congress, the chairships of congressional committees, all of that is made up of whoever or whichever party has a majority. Okay, educate and organize the electorate. Now remember, the electorate are the voters. Just knowing a candidate's party affiliation allows the voter to assume if they are conservative, they will appreciate a Republican candidate's stance on certain issues like war or health care. So a political party can make it very easy for voters to make what they feel are educated decisions. The ultimate goal of a political party is to win elections. Okay, you gotta get the party's candidate elected so they can make policy that reflects the ideology of the party. How do you get people elected? How do you achieve that goal? You got to turn your promises that you put forth in your platform into actual law. So turning campaign promises into action. It's why they're elected. Now, once you have made promises and you have support and you've hopefully have been able to fulfill those promises, you're going to be building a coalition. What a party promises to do while it is in office and what they have done while they are in office attracts a certain set of individuals to support it. Okay. Breaking promises. Okay. You can, as a politician, lose your coalition of support if you break the promises that you were elected to fulfill. We almost expect this as voters. In 1964, LBJ said in his campaign or his bid for the presidency to be reelected, he said, "I'm not going to send an American boy to Vietnam to do an Asian boy's job." But he did. Okay, Reagan promised to balance the budget, and he didn't. Bush Sr., quote unquote, read my lips, no new taxes, and he raised taxes. All of those things, like LBJ's not sending an American boy to do an Asian boy's job, that caused LBJ to have to pull out of the 1968 bid for the Democratic race for the presidency. Bush saying, read my lips, no new taxes. It lost him his re-election bid in 1992. Okay, when translation is successful, and a lot of times the politicians do keep their promises, we just like to forget about that. Okay, and when the translation is successful, the party is able to build a stronger coalition or group of support by voters. A lot of times politicians have fulfilled promises, like Clinton saying that he was going to have a Family Medical Leave Act, and he fulfilled that promise. Or that he was going to put gun control bills through Congress. He fulfilled that promise. Bush Jr. said he was going to give tax cuts to every American family. He fulfilled that promise. Obama promised to leave Iraq by 2013 and Afghanistan by 2014. He fulfilled those promises. When parties are able to fulfill their promises, they will continue to build a coalition of support.